Well, that's not supposed to do that. Good morning, everyone out there on the interwebs. My name is Jared, and this is my channel, Mazda B3K. Today, we are going to replace a faulty door handle on my 2010 Ford Fusion Jadzia. And without further ado, let's get started. As you saw in my little intro clip there, this door is not locking. The car thinks it's locked, but it's not locking. That's why the car alarm went off. And this is a known issue with this generation of Fusion. I think there's a spring inside of the handle assembly that just wears out. And then you get this problem. Now, the driver's side, I learned over there, has already been replaced. So today we're just following up and we're going to be replacing the passenger side. There is part we're going to need. I went with the Dorman part. It is 81701. That is the passenger interior door handle. As you can see, it looks just like the original OEM Ford one. It's the entire handle assembly. So all we're going to need to do is take off the door card, take the old assembly out, remove linkages, take the old assembly out, put the new assembly in, put it all back together, and test. So I'm going to go get my tripod. We're going to get you set up, and then we're going to start working on this door. All right, can you guys see okay? I can't get the best angle here because I got a little girly man tripod. It's not real big, so we'll see what we can do here. But what we're going to need to do, and if you've seen one of my earlier videos where I replaced the side view mirror on this side, actually, what we got to do is we've got a couple of screws that need to come out, and then there's a series of push pins that are all along the perimeter here, and they'll just boop, it'll come right out. It'll even make that sound effect. It'll go boop. So we have a screw right here, needs to come out. It is a Torx, so it's a small Torx. I will figure out what that is in a minute. There is, under a little decorative cover, there's another screw here that's got to come out. There is, let me move the camera so I can show you. Down yonder, there we go. There is another screw, let's see, right here where my finger is. You can probably see where my finger's going, just so you know. And all of these are so you get all that out. Oh, I forgot. There is, I'll bring you around to see it. There is also, give you some context, there's another Torx right here. So you take that one out as well. And I believe you don't have to mess with this. This had to come off for the side view mirror, but for this application, I don't think we have to take it off. So I'm going to go get my Torx kit, and we're going to get rolling on this. All right, this is my Torx kit. There are many like it, but this one is mine. So you can get this at Harbor Freight. This is from their Icon line. I highly recommend it. It's saved my butt more times than I can count. This is part of my rollout kit that when I go to the junkyard to pull parts, because you guys have heard me in many, many videos mention I got this, that, the other from the junkyard. This helps, makes it happen, because you never know when the manufacturer says, oh, let's do a random Torx. It's just like the 10mm. Random 10mm wherever you look. Always have a couple. Anyway, let's figure out what size this is. Let's try a T20. Come over here. And yeah, it's a T20. So T20 on that. And I took a look here. And I flipped this out. If it will. There it goes. Alright, you see that's a hex head. I'm thinking that's an 8mm. So I grabbed one and we'll see if that works. It may be smaller. That might be like a 6. Let's see here. Let's get this out. And let's get our 8. Let's see what we get. Oh yeah, that's way too big. That's going to be more like maybe a 6. Let me go grab that. Alright, did a little size checking, and it turns out this here is a This is a 7mm. So we got our 7, we got our T20. Let's go ahead and get started on pulling this apart. Alright, cue the 80s montage. Get this apart. Alright, I'm going to throw the screws just over here into the floorboard so I do not lose them. So the door handle itself is a pretty short screw. The one that goes in the back is a long one. So keep that in mind as we're taking these out. Let's see. It's another long one that goes in the bottom of the door. And then lastly, we have our 7mm right here. As you can see, it's a hex head. Okay, so that should be all of our screws. I don't think there's any on this side, so now we just kind of... Well, this is going to want to lift out. So we'll leave that be. Down, boy. We want to kind of lift. Let's see if I remember right. Lift up. Oh, there we go. Like I said, you want to kind of gently pull around the perimeter. There are push pins that you cannot see that are holding this in. And if it's getting too cranky, you may want to go get a push pin tool, push pin prior, and use that. This is coming out pretty easy, so except for it's wanting to stick here in the back. I'm not sure why. The rest of it's coming out. There it goes. It's just kind of sticky. There we go. All right. Be mindful of the electrical when you let this down, okay? So one thing you can do, since you took all the screws out, just the stuff that wants to get caught, that has electrical on it, in a lot of cases you can just kind of let it go. Otherwise you got to unplug. For example, this is for the window controls and whatnot. You just push this down and then pull the connector out. So we got this out of the way. We'll set this off to the side. All right. So here's what's up. Here is our door mechanism that is not working appropriately. So as you can see, this is our problem, right? This handle is not pulling tight, and that's affecting how this clock spring here works. So that is controlled by, whoa, speaking of things being loose, sorry about that, guys. That's controlled by this spring here, and that spring not getting the job done. You'll also see that the handle itself is partially broken. So just no bueno all around. That's why we're grabbing a new one. So we've got this metal cable. This feeds into the door handle. So when you pull the door handle, that should be actuating that. It's not, but it should. So we're going to have, there's a linkage up here in the back we got to disconnect. But to get that out, we got to get this out. And I'll see if that 7mm fits right here. Let's check it out. Nope, this one's an 8. So I'll go grab the 8, but we're going to take that 8 out. And I think that's it. think it's just one 8mm bolt that holds this whole thing in. Pop that linkage there, and then swap will be done. Be right back. All right, so as you can see, 8mm. It's not crazy tight. I was able to break it loose in my hand. Donk. So we'll get this guy off in the floorboard. Okay, let's check out this linkage. Okay, so this is the one I like calling like a hammer linkage. See how there's a hammer looking thing right there? So what we're going to need to do to slide this out is get some slack and pull this cable up to where the spot where my fingernail is, and then kind of push it out, and the whole linkage itself, whoa, needs to kind of go up like this, and then we can wiggle out the hammer part, and then we'll be able to transfer it to the new one. Let me see if I can get the camera positioned so you guys can see me do that. Let's see. Set it to 2. And let's see how this works. Okay. So we want to pop that out so we can get that slack that we need. And then we just pop it out. Just like that. And so there's our bad handle. We have our new handle. Now, I don't need to mention, but I'll go ahead and mention it. But make sure that your new part matches the old. I took care of that earlier, but this is your final sanity check. This is why we made sure we didn't break anything, because a half broken handle is better than a fully broken handle, right? So we're gonna get, I have an ASMR feature here. Oh yeah. Yeah, buddy. All right, let me see how this looks. Yeah, I need to back this up. All right, back to wide view. I'll do this again just in case. Make sure you compare your handles, that it looks like it's the same part, it's going to fit. It would be a real shame that you do all this and then you got a bad part. You got the wrong one. So, okay, we are going to push that back up. Hopefully you guys can see this. We're going to sneak that hammer looking thing back in like so. Then we got to push this collar back in position just like that. That's it. You can rotate that collar so you can get the pressure off. Yeah, I like that a lot better. Okay, then we're going to get our 8mm, which is already here. That goes, let's see here. There we go, guys. I actually wasn't looking high enough. There's a threaded insert right here, so you just put it right back there. We may have to come back and tinker with this to make sure it lines up with the rest of the door card. But we'll go ahead and slide that back on and see how she looks. Okay, guys, I have slid this kind of back in so that we're not going to have anything catch when we close the door. But here's our test. Remember, in the intro to the video, I was able to lock the car and then open it, and that triggered the car alarm. So we're locked, and the door is staying closed like it's supposed to. So that's a good repair. That validates our diagnosis that we had a bad interior handle. So now, all we got to do is just button up the inside. And there you have it, guys. I put everything back together. I didn't really film it because the reinstallation is the reverse of the disassembly. There's no real gotchas involved. The only real gotcha is when you're putting this back on, make sure you thread it under the handle. Otherwise, that's it. It just pops back in. You don't even have to try to hang it up here on the lip like you do with a lot of car doors. So it's back in. It looks good. We already did a systems check, and we know it opens from the inside and the outside, and we're good. All right, guys, that's going to do it for the interior door handle replacement for this 2010 Ford Fusion nicknamed Jadzia. Please like, share, and subscribe. And remember, I make the mistakes so you don't have to. Catch you guys next episode.